Hi, I'm Slasher here at the MLG Summer Championships here in Raleigh, North Carolina. And I'm here with Evil Genius's Puma, who just took out Sheth in the first game of the tournament. Now, Puma, you defeated Sheth with a mech build in Game 3. We've kind of been seeing a little bit of that as of late with MVP winning Gamescom this past weekend. A lot of theory crafting around mech and how that mech's going to make a comeback here. As Bio's kind of not winning against Terran and Protoss. What do you think about Mech and their viability going forward?
I think Mech is very strong, but it's not going to be a consistent build. It's something that you'll see once in a while. It's something that you'll see mixed into a lot of different strategies. So I can't talk about the long-term viability of it. And as for MVP, Mech build has been around for a while, and we've been using it for a while. The only difference is that MVP was the first big name to use it, and I think if you look back on other tournaments, there is evidence of Terran players using that build, but because MVP used it, it really came out into the forefront. It doesn't necessarily speak to how effective the strategy is, more so that a lot of Terrans are following this build because it's being used by a very famous Terran.
Now, Ravens have been said to try to fix late game TVZ and TVP, and we've seen also a lot of use of them at this past weekend's Gamescom. What do you feel about the use of the Raven and how that might help Terran late game?
Specifically talking about Zerg, there are many Zerg players who are very good at countering Terrans. So it usually gets pushed out into a late game. And by the time you get to a late game, the Zerg just have so many units that there doesn't seem to be a lot for a Terran to do to make a big turnaround. And that's why you see Ravens come out using bombs so much because of the splash damage.
Now, you've had trouble against Protoss in the past few tournaments, and you said if you just got beat Alicia this weekend, you think you'll do pretty good. What has been the issue that you've faced when playing Protoss?
I just want to clear up the comments I made about Alicia. I didn't necessarily say I wanted to beat him and then I could win the tournament. It was more so that he was in my group and that I could, if I come out of my group, then I could, beat my tournament. And I just picked Alicia because he is one out of two of the players that I see having a very difficult time with. In terms of my difficulties with Protoss, I think for me personally, the biggest difficulty is that Terran as a race is a slow push kind of race. So when a lot of TOS players 3-gate and they have that early attack, it puts a lot of pressure on Terrans in general, and especially for me, just the way that the design of the race, being able to warp in units very quickly on the front lines while Terrans have to wait for them to be produced in factories and in barracks and for them to be pushed out. I think that's a great difficulty that a lot of Terran players face. And also, I would say in this tournament, out of all the Protoss, there are about 10 or 11 who are extremely good players, and in particular, they're very good at Terran matchups.
All right, thank you, Puma, and good luck in the rest of the tournament. I'm Slasher, and stay tuned to GameSpot.com/esports for all the coverage of the MLG Summer Championships.